What's up, YouTube? My name is xOranJizz, representing COD for the Noobs, and today I'm bringing you a commentary of me using the PDW-57. I am running lightweight, hardline, toughness, cold-blooded, dexterity as my perks, and for my score streaks I got UAV, Hunter Killer, and Hellstorm in the corner, as you can see, and I'm playing hardpoint on carrier, and for my attachments I got fast mags and silencer. Those are a very good combination. I'm just going to say that right there. And right here on the first hardpoint is a great spot to just kind of camp in, because no one can come from your behind, and sorry, but no one can come from behind, and you got your left side covered because you spawned there. And then there's like one place where you can just see them always coming from there, and it's an awesome spot to be. You can always get your bloodthirsties and stuff like that, and it's just a really awesome spot in my opinion. But the thing I want to talk about real quick is how to use a PDW-57, because that's what our channel is built around. And first off, you do not want to put on the laser sight. I know that it is a submachine gun. It seems like it'd be good, but it's not, because it's better for aiming down on the sights. But yeah, it's good at times for spraying, but most of the time you're gonna want to aim down your sights. The Scorpion Evo is a much better gun for aiming down for like spraying, but PDW not so much. Another thing, when it's pretty good far range, but at the same time it's like it kind of moves around a little bit, but it has really good accuracy. And I know that this goes completely against our channel, I guess. We're called COD for the Noobs, supposed to be giving you tips, but we can do some commentaries about like life and stuff, so that's what I'm gonna do. And if you're wondering why I was shooting at the ground right there, it's because my TV just blinked out from Elgato, I guess, being stupid, but you know, it's a price to pay for having HD content. And I'm just gonna hop right into the story of the 1 month grounding story, I guess I'll call it that. And I have a glass of water right here I'm going to drink out of. Tasty. Alright. So just to jump right in here, I'm going to set the scene for you guys. Alright, so it's my house. My friend Jacob Polson spent the night. Mac or Easy and his friend Jason are spending the night at Jason's house just up the street. And we all are going to sneak out and hang out with each other. So there you go. There's the scene set. And me and Jake are really bored, and we're just like, alright, so let's sneak out tonight. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And I was like, I don't want to ding dong ditch anyone though. That's like first grade stuff. We are going to like hang out with people, and he's like, well, do you got any girls in your neighborhood or something? I'm like, fuck. Every girl lives by the fucking school, or like just somewhere not near my house. Like, there are girls, but they're like, you know, 2s and 3s, maybe a few 6s, but yeah, they're not the girls you're gonna be hanging out with. And so I hit up my friend Jason, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing tonight? He's like, oh, I got Max spending the night. I'm like, alright, cool. Alright, we're gonna party on the town, bro. And he's like, yeah. And so me and Jake, you know, this is our first time sneaking out, you know, so we're like going to go all out. So we like set up pillows and blankets for, like, if my pop wakes up, he'll see that we were actually sleeping with these blankets, and we just got stuff going on. And so we're like, there's no way we're gonna get caught. Sorry, let me take a drink here. And so we're like, we do not think there's any way we're going to get caught. And so we get, on my neighborhood, what you do is you take a right, you go down the street about 100 yards, and then you take a left. And then you go over railroad tracks and a small little bridge that goes over a tiny little creek. It doesn't it's a road, but it doesn't like go over like, it's not like the Golden Gate Bridge or anything. It's just a small, tiny little bridge, and if you like never seen a small little bridge, you won't know what I'm talking about. You'll think I'm talking about Golden Gate Bridge, but yeah. So, and then like after you cross the bridge, you take a right, and then like there's Jason's neighborhood, and it's really not that far. It's maybe half a mile, but it's not even that. I think it's under that, but yeah. So we're like, all right, this small little walk, and they're lazy, so we got to go to the outside of his neighborhood before we can actually hang out with them. I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with this. I could care less if we have to walk that far. It's not far at all. So we're like getting halfway there, and Jake's freaking nutsidge or something, and he's like crying. And then when we are walking there, and we go over the railroad tracks, and we get to the bridge, and there's like a creek, and since there's a creek next to it, Jake goes, dude, what if a hobo hops out and stabs us? And I'm pretty sure, I believe to this day, that he was joking about that, but I'm not sure. I think he was, but you know, he's a puss. So I'm like, alright dude, and I like laugh, and we're running right in the middle of the street, and we see this car up ahead, and he pulls around the corner like he meant to at that time, and then like we're like, dude, we gotta get out of the street, and then I realized his lights turn on, and I'm like, oh crap, it's a cop. And so in my mind, there's 1,000 things going on. I'm like, what are we supposed to do, dude? I'm thinking, now I think, should we have like ran and tried and like got away or something? Because there's that creek right behind us, and it's like, it's not like you couldn't like jump down there, and you know, it's not like it's a straight drop off or anything, but you know, like you could have went down there and hid and maybe gotten away with it, but I don't know what we should have done. But so when he pulls up and he says, please pull to the side of the road, and we're like, crap. So we go to the side of the road, and he's like yelling at us and stuff, and he goes, so what are you guys doing tonight? And I'm like, we're going to hang out with our friends just around the corner. And obviously he thinks that we aren't doing that, and we are like trying to like be bad, do drugs, something. And I say, sir, I know you think we're coming out here to do like drugs and ding dong ditch and like people's houses or whatever, and that's not what we're doing. We are seriously going to hang out with our friends. And he goes, do your parents know you're out here? And I said, I don't know, my dad's at a party, I know that. And he's like, oh, where? I'm like, right next to my friend's house. And he goes, and I right from the get-go, that was a bad lie, and my dad was really sleeping at my house, and I shouldn't have lied. Don't lie to cops. But he goes, so where do you live? And I said, next to my neighbor's house. I should not have said that. That is a bad choice. And so he goes, alright kid, I'm serious, you need to tell me. I'm like, alright. In my mind, I'm thinking, crap. But I tell him my address, and he drives us over there, and he says, is the front door locked? And I said yes. And we walked through the back door, and we messed up all our pillows that we had set up. And then I walk over to him, and he's like, call your house phone. I called my house, and obviously it just rings. And then I call, and he goes, call your dad, put it on speaker. And I did, and my dad's phone rings in the next room. And I'm like, alright, I knew that was gonna happen, so I wasn't scared of like my dad picking up or anything. And then he says, like, alright, he's like screaming at us, telling us what we did wrong. And he goes, so, and he points to Jake, and he's like, so is your dad here or something? And he's like, no, he's at my house. And so Jake, like, he calls Jake's dad, and Jake's dad is going to pick both of us up, and we're going to go over to his house. So he picks us up, and Jake's dad is not mad at all. He is completely fine, and Jake isn't in trouble at this point, and so Jake is completely off the hook. We're all fine, and Jake is fine. And then we get home, and Jake says, we were seriously going to hang out with Mac and Jason, and Jake's parents say, we believe you. And Jake says, no you don't. He starts screaming at them and stuff, and they're like, alright, you're grounded for 2 weeks. And then I'm like, Jake, are you seriously stupid? And so later that night I texted Mac and Jason and asked them if they left or anything, and he says no, but we heard a cop car, and we were wondering. And I said before I told them, never mind. My dad called me. And I said, well, really, what happened was that my dad, my dad didn't catch me. There was a cop car that caught us, and he told us to pull over and stuff, and we got in trouble. And he goes, "Are you serious? We heard it." And I was like, and Jason joked about what if that cop car pulled up Mac or Jake and Cam, and it actually did. And that kind of scared me at the time, but yeah, that's the commentary. Give it a like, maybe sub it, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.